Hello and welcome back to West Brom Fan TV. It's a quiet Wednesday night. I'm sure many of you have just enjoyed watching the Carabao Cup, but I'm about to film a prediction video for this weekend's set of championship action. In what last week was a really exciting and shocking week in the championship. A lot of results out of nowhere that a lot of people wouldn't expect. As you can guess, I did pretty terribly with my predictions, as I usually do. A couple of correct teams winning and one correct score. I know, it's pretty poor, to be fair. But, you know, this is just my opinion. You're not watching Sky Sports, you're watching West Brom Fan TV. But let's get on to it. Starting off with the Friday night game. At the Bet365, Stoke City take on Hull. A bit of a calamity at Stoke getting rid of Steven Schumacher. They've just brought in the Spanish manager, copying the same model as the Albion and QPR, with exciting Spanish managers. Stoke have been pretty poor, to be honest. I think they're just one of them sides. Everyone puts them in the top 6 or around the top 8, top 9 at the start of the season. They just always let us down, really, in these predictions. Hull have been pretty meh. I mean, they did play Sheffield United on Friday last week, so you can't really look too deep into it. It's another Friday night for Hull. I think it's going to be another sad one for Hull. I think that Stoke are going to get the job done. A new manager bounce, 2-1 win to the Potters. Next up Saturday, the horrible early kickoffs. Fair play to these away fans who are travelling the distance, because it's not nice. It's not nice at all waking up at stupid o'clock in the morning to travel to watch your team play. You just feel shattered when you get to the ground. You need a few beers, or if you don't drink, a coffee or a cup of tea to wake you up. It's a nightmare. Starting off at Carrow Road, Norwich taking on Watford. Norwich as well, been a bit quiet really so far. Not much hype around them. Losing to Swansea as well. It's a game that a lot of people would have thought they'd have been winning. I think they were the favourites going into that one. Watford, on the other hand, have been really impressive, but they may have hit a slight speed bump in their road as they suffered defeat to Sheffield United before the international break, and then drawing to Cov City. They were 1-0 down quite early on, thanks to a goal from Ellis Sims, but still they're in the top 6 and they are looking pretty good. Saying that, I'm going to go completely off cuff of what I just said, and I'm saying Norwich will win 3-1. I just think Carrow Road, it's one of them grounds. It's quite a tough place to get points from, and I just think that this might be Norwich's little renaissance and chance to get the wheels rolling in the right direction. Next up is Loftus Road as QPR take on Millwall. Bit of a London derby, not really. It's not a massive ding-dang-do of a game, but a bit of hype about it. It is on Sky. Second, localish. Say Luton Mill's derby? I won't, but some people might. The second localish game for the Lions travelling to Loftus Road. QPR, they've been okay from what I've seen. Like I said, they're not really blown anyone away, but they're not really in too much danger either. Saying that, I've just remembered they had a cracking, it was a goal that you'd see on a secondary school playground or field. Just absolutely calamity in the box in the last minute. The ball's pinging everywhere. There's bodies in the way. And they nicked a point at Sheffield Wednesday, queuing pandemonium in that way end. Chef's kiss. You love to see it. Millwall, on the other hand, have continued to be flat and disappointing. I like Millwall. They're a good club. But bloody hell, your fans are going through some punishment this season, losing to Luton. A dead and buried Luton from the looks of it. Who pulled off a 1-0 win at the Den, and I think it's going to be more misery for them. I think QPR, they seem to be getting shithouse results. I could see them shithousing something else. I'm going to say 1-0 QPR. Off to another mini derby. Some of these fans, Sunderland and Middlesbrough, some of them don't consider this a derby, some do. Let's just say it's a derby. Why not? It's pretty local. Sunderland, Their first speed bump of the season at Plymouth Argyle. I know no one was expecting that. Everyone thought Rooney's outfit were dead and buried. But yeah, 3-2. A lot of character in that performance from Plymouth Argyle. But we'll talk about them later. Sunderland, it's a disappointment, but like I said, it's only a speed bump. I think they've got a lot of exciting players. They've got a new French manager who seems to be, got the supporters behind him. Obviously, long old trek to Plymouth, but it's a lot shorter trek this week. They're playing at home. Middlesbrough, on the other hand, they've been all right, I guess. Like I said, they're sniffing around the playoffs. It's very early to tell, really. A lot of people know that Middlesbrough do tend to start the season pretty slowly, and then they build up the momentum and fly up towards the end of the season. I think this will be a great game, and it will be a proper championship classic. There'll be people screaming on Sky Sports. They'll put it on the advert for Christmas, whatever, like they usually do with these big high-profile games. I want to go for a 2-2 draw, lots of excitement, lots of action, and potentially a red card as well. Off to Ashton Gate next. Bristol City taking on Oxford United. Bristol have been very, like I said, another one of them teams that you can't really judge. It's just another team that kind of tend to get a little bit better towards the middle/end of the season. They pick up a bit of momentum, but at the moment, a little bit flat. Oxford, they love a result at home, don't they? Absolutely love a result at home. That is a fortress, that place is. It may be falling apart and it may have pigeons living in that stadium, but they sure can get a result at the Cassam. I've just remembered as well, Bristol lost to Blackburn Rovers at the weekend, which is obviously a tough game. Blackburn are flying. Enough about that. We'll talk about them later though. Saying that, I think that Bristol will get a result. I think it'll be 2-0 against Oxford. Oxford don't tend to do too well on the road. I think Mark Harris won't score this time. But yeah, why not? Bristol City win. Turf Moor next, as Burnley take on Portsmouth. Big win for Burnley against Leeds. Ellen Road, tough place to go. Hannibal winding up the fans. Some great limbs in that away end. It's just a proper, as Ben Foster would say, I love a 1-0 win, mate. A proper hard-fought result. James Trafford as well played sensational in that goal, making some top saves. And when people thought that Burnley were going to go, they're back up. The Championship. Portsmouth, on the other hand, they're probably one of the worst teams I've ever seen play. Saying that, luckily, I'm not going to slate them too much because I have seen them previously in the season and they have got a bit of character about them. Obviously scoring 3 goals away at Ellen Road, scoring twice away at Middlesbrough. They tend to score playing away. And I think they'll get a point, So it's not all doom and gloom, Pompey fans. I do have a lot of respect for you. We got some great comments off you guys, which I thought we wouldn't because I was a little bit biased for the Albion, but oh well. Let's go with the 1-1 draw. Next up, Cardiff City taking on Leeds United, an old school ding-dang-do hooligan game. 2 top firms back in the day. I don't know why I'm talking about firms. This is a football channel, not a fighting channel. But Cardiff have been awful, really bad. Yet again, a team that just dig in their own grave. They've not been good at all. Leeds, on the other hand, losing, but they've been okay. I think, like I said, Leeds fans, it's such a massive club. There's so much pressure that everyone's going to get on their back as soon as something goes against them. But they've got a good side. They've got some great players, and I can see them picking up a bit later on in the season. I think this will be a hard-fought point for Cardiff, just because it's quite a high-profile game. I'd say 2 naughty clubs battling away in the Championship. Let's go for an exciting 2-2 draw. Off to technically my local Championship ground, Coventry City taking on Swansea. Cov bottling it again. It seems to be a lot this season that Cov are bottling it, to be fair. I'll back them to win. They don't win. I don't think I've backed them to lose yet, to be honest. And they still manage just to bottle it, don't they? 1-1 against Watford, which on paper is a great result, but the fashion that they've done it, having a 1-goal lead and giving it away, pretty poor. Swansea, massive 1-0 win against Norwich. It's gone a bit under the radar, to be fair. When I watched them at the Hawthorns, I thought, yeah, they're going to go now. But they're battled out. They got a result. But as much as that has happened, I'm going to as much as I've said don't back Coventry, I'm going to back Coventry again. I think this will be the last time I do if they lose. I'm saying a 1-0 win for Coventry City, finally giving them a bit of momentum and not scrappy wins like they got against Oxford. Hopefully this will be a hard-fought 1-0 win. But I'm not going to put Cov to win next week if they lose this. Spoiler alert, because they've let me down every time but made me look stupid. Off to Kenilworth Road next is Luton Town take on Sheffield Wednesday. First win of the season for Luton. I haven't seen the highlights of the game. I know Mengi scored. Hopefully this will be a chance for them to pick up a little bit of trajectory and, you know, start pushing. Sheffield Wednesday on the other hand have been very... Everyone thought they'd be flying after that massive win at the start of the season. They thought they'd got another win. They were 1-0 up in the 93rd minute and somehow they bottled it against QPR with a scrappy ding-dang-do. Sunday League, secondary school, you name it, goal. On the playground, you know, the ball's pinging everywhere and it's just ended up in the net. I'm saying that I'm going to be very boring for this one. There's always one every week. And I know this doesn't seem like one, but I think it most likely will be one. A 0-0 draw. Sorry to you guys, especially the Sheffield Wednesday fans, because that's a long distance to travel for a 0-0 draw. Off to Bramall Lane next as Sheffield United take on Derby County. Sheffield really impressed me this season. They are a quality side, to be fair. Got some good players, haven't they? They play some nice football. They get the job done. That's the best way to describe Sheffield United. A lot of players nick from Cov like Hamer, O'Hare. Them two on the counter-attack have been fantastic. They just look like an exciting team. Kiefer Moore as well, bullying defenders. Yeah, you can tell I watched that game because the analysis is a little bit better. They are, if it wasn't for that points deduction, they'd be around second, I think. Yeah, they'd be second, I think. Or third. Never mind, got that wrong. But yeah, they've been really impressive. Derby, they're a home team, aren't they? They just get results at home, don't they? Very similar to Oxford, another team that was promoted from League One. These League One teams tend to have a bit of a trend, don't they? Apart from Portsmouth. Sorry, Portsmouth. And I think that trend will continue here at Sheffield United. They'll pick up a 3-1 win against Derby. And Callum O'Hare will score, just to annoy all the Cov fans. Next up is the Baggies. I'm not wearing a shirt this week. I've been to the gym, so yeah, I just have to beat my chest. Obviously, I went to the game, as I always do, go every game, and we played sensational against Portsmouth. Like I said, I can't get too excited and too, enjoy it too much, because in about 3 match weeks in the Championship, you can end up with egg all over your face and looking stupid. Yeah, we've been playing some brilliant ball under Corban, haven't we? Fantastic fellows, amazing. Madger, clinical. Johnston, exciting. Grant, pace. Who else can I name? Mowat, technicality. I could go all day. You've got to have a centre back in there. Hegum, beast. Yeah, all right. Enough of that. Anyways, on to Plymouth Argyle. Massive 3-2 win against Sunderland. No one was expecting that. That was the coupon buster of the weekend. They battled hard in that game to come back from 1-0 down to win 3-2. They should be very proud of themselves. I'm sure Rooney's happy, and he's been out for a few lagers that night as well, doing a bit of karaoke. What a bloke. I am very pessimistic with the Albion usually, but this week I'm not going to be. I'm going to say a 2-0 win. That could bite me on the bum very, very easily, because Morgan Whittaker plays for Plymouth, and he's a tight little player. On to Sunday now. This is probably the feature fixture of the weekend, as Preston North End take on Blackburn in the Lancashire derby. Preston have been wishy-washy. That was one of the words I used in the second video I did in this series. Wishy-washy. Not the best, really. Blackburn, on the other hand, have been the complete opposite. They've been an absolute revelation, haven't they? Pardon me. They've just made some smart signings, and they've kept some of the core players that we're excited for, like that Dolan. He's quality, rapid player. I think I think that Andy Vyman was a fantastic signing for him as well. Who'd have thought that? Like, the thing with Vyman, he brings so much experience into that side. It inspires younger players who are coming up through the ranks. But my score prediction for this big Lancashire derby will be Preston North End 1, Blackburn Rovers 2. I think they're finally going to get one over their Lancashire rivals. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Quite a long one today, 15 minutes I can see on the camera, so I'm going to wrap it up now. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Up the Albion, come on you baggies.